Team brief this month comes from the Midru building at Heartlands, and I'm shortly going to be meeting Tina Gamble, who's the Senior Cancer Research Nurse here, and I'll be asking her 3 questions. First of all, which 3 members of staff have got Olympic connections? Secondly, what's the rather unusual competition that goes on here? And thirdly, what's the connection between a member of staff and a hobbit? I'm going to start off by updating you on the position of recruitment for a permanent chief executive at the Trust, and I've decided to withdraw my application for this post. It is being re-advertised, and the intention is to hold interviews at the beginning of October, and I will be staying on till the end of October when I go back to Wigan as chief executive there. I want to thank everybody in the Trust that's made me feel so very welcome here, and I've really enjoyed my time with you. I would have loved to have been your permanent chief executive, but it was not meant to be. Moving on to quality now, and an update on our measures to improve safety in the emergency departments. The new miners unit at Heartlands has now opened, and a very attractive department it is too. This enables us to convert the old miners to majors and an expanded resus, all of which should be open by the end of October, giving us the extra capacity we need to cope with winter. Also, the new admission to medicine units at Good Hope Hospital will be open by the end of October too. Our Quality Champion scheme starts formally next week. I will be doing the launch on the 14th, and the second cohort is fully recruited too. And if you'd like to be interested in the third cohort, here's who you can contact to register an interest. Moving on now to staff engagement, I'm very pleased to say that one of the ideas was that we would recognise new starters. So from next month, any new starter will be wearing a yellow identity badge. So if you see anybody with a yellow identity badge, do take the opportunity to welcome them to the organisation. Also on staff engagement, you gave us feedback that you wanted to improve the standards of behaviour and management style in the organisation, and also that staff wanted to feel better appreciated for what they did. So if you look at this picture here, you can see that there's a number of events taking place throughout September and October. Firstly, drop-in events where you're welcome to come on and talk about the type of behaviour that you'd like to see, and secondly, some engagement events which are all about how we can appreciate staff better. So do come along to any of these that you can. Now for some facts and figures about how we're doing as a trust. On quality, first of all, you can see here the MRSA chart showing that we've had just 1 case of MRSA in the whole of this year so far, the same as last year. If you look at the C. diff chart, you can see that we've had 15 cases of C. diff so far this year. That's roughly half what we had in the same period last year, so a really, really good improvement. Moving on to the measures of serious harm, I'm pleased to say that we've had no never events. There were 2 pressure ulcers, 4 falls which resulted in injury, 6 cases of C. diff and 8 of E. coli, giving a total of 20 for the month. Now look at the A&E chart, and what this shows you is how we're doing compared with what we said we would do. The dotted line is our intended trajectory, and the line that moves about all over the place is actual. And you can see therefore that our actual performance is better than planned, and we are slowly inching forwards towards the magical 95% line where we will be compliant with national policy. So thanks to everybody that's responsible for that really good improvement. Finally, I need to talk about the financial position, which unfortunately continues to deteriorate, and after 4 months of the year we have a deficit of £22 million. Now, a recovery plan is in place, actions have already been taken, and the intention is by the year end to have us no more than £15 million away from where we wanted to be as an organisation. But this is going to take a huge amount of effort for people in the last few months of this year, so I really appreciate everybody pulling together to achieve this. Now for some general news out and about in the Trust. The Trust has won national recognition for another of its videos, this time promoting sepsis as part of the National Sign Up to Safety campaign, and well done to everybody involved. Next month sees the start of the biggest ever nurse recruitment campaign, and over 160 Band 5 nurses will be joining the organisation. This is great news, and it's really important that we make them feel very welcome. Two major pieces of building work now come to fruition, with the new hybrid theatre opening during September and also progressively moving out of the old dermatology department at Solihull into the fantastic purpose-built new accommodation there. And then a couple of other bits and pieces. You'll also be seeing a new fleet of cars around as we replace the old and outdated vehicles that were used by the Trust departments. And finally, Cafe One has now confirmed its extended opening hours at Heartlands, which is for a further 3 months, and it's going to stay open till 7:30 in the evening, whereas it was previously only open till 6, and it will continue to serve hot food until 3 o'clock. As part of my visit to Midru, I've been lucky enough to meet a patient, Christine Lockyer, and I'm just going to ask her a few questions about her experience here. So first of all, Christine, where do you live?
I live just outside of Ludlow in Shropshire, which is about 2 hours away.
So why are you travelling so far to come here?
When I was diagnosed, my consultant at the time recommended that I come to Heartlands Hospital, that it was a centre for excellence for lung cancer, which was my diagnosis.
And what has your experience been like?
It's been outstanding. The quality of care that I've received has been absolutely second to none, and I can compare it with other hospitals that I've visited. I would recommend a Heartlands Hospital to any person in my situation.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much. Now I'm here with Tina Gamble, who is one of the senior cancer research nurses, and Tina's been a nurse for 21 years, has worked at the Trust for 16 years, and the last 8 years in this position. So Tina, what are the main things that happen in this building?
We recruit patients into trials. We have 500 ongoing research trials that we're working on in this building. So we have clinics here, we have a ward area for potential phase 1 studies.
And what are the main problems and pressures that you face?
Getting the trials open that suit our patients.
I see. And what are you most proud of?
Recruiting patients into trials and then seeing them respond to treatment and do really well.
Well, it was really great to meet your patient, Christine. Now, I've got 3 quiz questions for you. So first of all, tell me, what are the 3 members of staff that have got Olympic connections?
Our directorate manager, Liz Adey, was a games maker at the Olympic Games in London. Helen Jenner was a reservist for the Tokyo Olympics in swimming, and Linda Webber's father was a reservist boxer.
I see. And what's this unusual competition that you have inside the department?
Oh, each team was given sunflower seeds at the beginning of the summer, and there's an in-house competition to see who can grow the tallest sunflower.
Very good. And what's the strange connection between this department and a hobbit?
Sarah Manny, our quality assurance manager, shared a house with Dominic Monaghan's brother while she was at university.
And Dominic Monaghan was one of the hobbits?
Yes.
Okay, fine. And that's the end of this month's Team Brief.